Namaste, kings and queens. Welcome to my YouTube channel, if that's the platform you're watching on. Welcome to my Facebook page, if that is the platform that you are watching on. So today, I want to touch on African spirituality. So when I started my YouTube channel or started making my videos, I basically just dove right into whatever it is I was doing. I have been burning sage for quite a while and carrying crystals in my bra for quite a long time now, maybe about 6 or 7 years now. And I recently started burning ancestor money, and I was talking to my friends about it, and they were like, oh, I want to do that. I want to, well, first of all, when I started burning it, I was like telling people how it was like Drano for me. It unclogged all of my blessings. Once I involved my ancestors in my spiritual growth, in my prayers, in my search for spiritual growth and wisdom and knowledge and courage, once I involved my ancestors in it, it was like boom, everything just started happening right away. So, but what I didn't touch on was telling people about African spirituality and how all of that ties into it. So, because I also see a lot of people kind of fearful of actually, dealing with their ancestors or dealing with their ancestors who are no longer, or their family members who are no longer here on earth anymore. So, first of all, African spirituality is the root of religion, okay? Religion was built by us, okay? Everything that you know, Christianity, the Bible, Jesus, God, that we built that comes from us. So even if you wanted to continue with Christianity, you can. There's nothing bad about it, but there's also nothing bad about African spirituality. So I want to start by saying that if you are on the path of seeking traditional heritage and things of that nature, you're eventually going to have to face your ancestors' spirituality and what they did prior to being slaves. You're going to run into that. And unfortunately, when this facing occurs, we form a deep psychological rift, like a wall, because we don't want to disrespect what our grandmothers and what our mothers and our grandmothers and our great grandmothers taught to us. Like, I'm not disagreeing that my grandmother and great grandmother and great aunts and aunties and uncles, I'm not disagreeing that their prayers didn't carry me through. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that the way in which it's done and it's supposed to be done was taken from us out of fear that we would use it to uplift ourselves, which is what is going on now. You can see it. People are like asking the questions finally. So on the one side, you have this the social dominant religious structure, and on the other you have the infinite ancestral structure. So we have the social dominant religious structure that is telling us, try not to dabble in this too much, try not to do that too much. And then you have, and it's limiting. I feel like a lot of times religion is limiting to try to keep you where you need to be. I feel like a lot of times religion kind of ties into politics and things of that nature, which limits you from the amount of riches and wealth that you could have here on earth. That is done purposely, all right? Because once you tap into your ancestor spirituality, it becomes infinite. All right, all kinds of things will open up for you. So whenever you talk about, I notice that whenever people talk about African spirituality and African culture, we only discuss the negative aspects presented to us by the dominant religious structure, which is like hoodoo and voodoo and root magic. Like, what we have to understand first and foremost is that African spirituality has nothing to do with occultism, okay? It's not that, okay? Like I said, African spirituality has everything to do with our already religious philosophies and culture built up on dignity. Like, that's what it's about. Like, African spirituality is not about harming people. It's not about hurting people, okay? It's about uplifting each other. So if you're coming in to African spirituality with the same, with the negative mindset of, I'm doing this so I can have the powers to hurt people, you're in the wrong section for that, baby. Like, this is not for you. If you trying to cast spells on your boyfriend, you trying to make dude love you, you trying to make your girl go crazy, like, that's not what this is for. You need to go ahead and do something else. African spirituality is not occultism. Like I said, we are the foundation. African spirituality is the foundation of religion, okay? We created that shit. That's us. That's all of ours. So be mindful and be patient with yourself. Be mindful and patient with yourself. And I can't express it more, the patience you need to have with yourself, more than you need to have with others, because with other people, it's going to be hard because you're going to be trying to explain yourself and you really don't understand it yourself. So it's going to take your journey to spiritual enlightenment is going to take open-mindedness. It's going to take deep study, and it's going to take gradual acceptance. You're going to have to gradually, that mental rift, it can be there, but you have to, every time you feel that fear built up around, oh, I don't know if I should be burning these sages, and I don't know if I should be holding crystals, and I don't know if I should be burning ancestor money. Every time you feel that, immediately capture it and say no, okay? Because everything is intent. Everything is intentional. Whatever you intend to do with this is what it's going to be, okay? So be mindful, be open-minded, study. I have some, if you guys would like me to share some of the books and videos and people that I have learned from in the past and am still learning. Like I said, I am not all the way there yet. I can share that with you. You can inbox me or DM me or email me, whichever, and I can send you the books. I can send you the receipts, because I have some proof in which it makes sense to me. I don't even need proof. In my head, it's common sense. Whenever I started reading it, I'm like, duh, like, it all made sense, right? It all started making sense to me. So deep study, gradual acceptance. It won't happen overnight. It won't come to you just like that. It may, because it may have already resonated with your spirit beforehand, which is what brought you this far, to saying, I want to learn more, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? You had already stopped going to church. You had already left the Jesus Christ thing alone. You had already started on that path. So now when you get off into African spirituality or Yoruba religious concepts or Ifa, like, oh, and another thing, when you're dealing with Yoruba religious concepts, Ifa, always remember that you're gonna need a teacher, a godparent. You cannot just say, Once you start studying, you'll see what I'm saying. But you cannot just say, this is my Orisha. You cannot say, I'm a child of Oshan just because Beyonce is saying it. Please, please, please stop doing that. Y'all are going to get yourself hurt. That is not for you. I will tell you what is for you. Your ancestors belong to you. They are you. Okay? They are your flesh and your blood. They need that negative energy and that negative spirit that they died with needs to be healed and needs to be released, because their flesh and blood is your flesh and blood. So when you were born, that was born into you. So you got to heal them in order to heal you. You can't just keep saying they're dead, they're gone. No, they're still here through you. You're their flesh and blood. So heal them. When you burn your sage, make sure you say a blessing and a prayer in your mind, visualizing all that negative energy, not just coming up off of you, but coming up off of your ancestors, coming up off of your children that will be born and reborn into this world. You know what I'm saying? So that they won't have to continue the path of healing. They can just continue to grow. And eventually, once you have started on your path of deep study and gradual acceptance, and once you have accepted who you are and accepted what you are, then you will have the strength and the courage and the wisdom that you need to grow and eventually transcend. You won't have to do this shit again. You won't have to do it again, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is it for you, because you now you have it. Now you got it. You don't have to keep coming back, because your kids and your grandkids gonna be straight. Okay? African spirituality is not bad. Get that out of your mind. Stop letting the social dominant religious structure scare you out of your shit. This belongs to you. Okay? The social dominant religious structure is limiting, and it is temporary. That's why, as you can tell, in 2020, so many people, actually, I started seeing it, like I said, like 6 years ago. People have started coming coming back to their African roots. You know what I'm saying? And coming back to they can feel it, right? And it's coming back because our ancestral religious structure is infinite. It is never ending, okay? It is built on a beautiful infinite energy that can be neither lost nor destroyed. It is only transferred from you to your kids, from your parents to you, to your kids, to their kids. Okay? It's infinite. We are infinite. Okay? We are those seeds that they talk about. The ones that they buried and they didn't know we was flowers. Right? We're growing. Okay? And like I said, it belongs to you. It was taken from you, during slavery, so that you wouldn't use it. It was taken from you and given back watered down so you wouldn't use it to get free. Okay, you're not a slave anymore. And you owe it to your ancestors. I don't know if y'all can see my shirt, but you owe it to your ancestors to practice your culture, because your ancestors weren't allowed to. Do it for them. If you ain't gonna do it for you, do it for them. All right, do it in honor of them. They died for this. You are the hope and the dream of the slaves. All right, you are free. You are free to be millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. You are free. It's time to act free. It's time to connect to the universal money supply. It's time to connect to the blessings that are owed to you. Okay? It's time to connect to your spiritual roots. Don't just stop at African heritage. Don't just stop at natural hair and dashikis. All right? Once you do that, and then you run into African spirituality, give it time. Be patient. Be open-minded. All right? And like I said, just gradually accept it. Accept it, because you're going to have to. Everybody is. Everybody's going to have to accept what it is. But let yourself do it gradually. Don't think you got to go full-fledged off the deep end into this. All right? I'm not even full-fledged off into the deep end of this. But I'm getting there. Okay? So, Ashe. I love y'all. And thank you. Namaste.